they collect together in groups and they have investment evenings and they have functions and you know, it's not hard to find them. And in fact, you're more likely to get access to an angel investor through your own networks already. It's amazing, you know, 1, 2, 3 degrees, whether you use LinkedIn or use Twitter or, you know, unbelievable search functions online now to be able to get into open networks that will enable you to meet angel investors. I actually think now, whereas 10 years ago, it was really hard to get access, now it's really easy. The hard bit is the how many frogs do you have to kiss, right? Before you get the fit, where you tell the right story at the right time to the right investor who gets it. You know, and the key with that is being able to find out what are those angel investors interested in investing. And there's no point going to, you know, if you've got an engineering application cutting trees up, there's no point going to talk to, you know, a biotech investor. I'm not interested, right? It's about trying to find out, you know, what spins their dial. There's a, I don't think Perry, there's a guy called Perry Knight, who's one of our most active angel investors. We call him Dirty Old Perry, or we call him Rat Up a Drain Pipe. And he's not because he's that, but he loves ideas. And he'll throw 10, 20k into a young, youthful entrepreneur who's got an interesting idea. Just loves it. But, you know, you'll find others who'll be very stiff and formal and all about financial, and they'll be looking for one segment of ideas. So I think how you find them is easy. You just got to get out there in the networks, use people like us, use New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, look on the web, so much more, it's open, but then really think about how you approach angel investors and what you have to do to give yourself the best chance of kissing as few frogs as possible.
So you talked about finding a person that has an interest in a particular industry or technology or idea, but there are likely to be some fundamentals that all angel investors are interested in, in terms of what makes a good idea, outside of just the functional discipline industry issue.
You're so good because you've jumped down to question number 6.
It's because you've done so well on 2, 3 and 4.
So what do you think of the things that an angel investor, I want you guys to pose yourselves as angel investors. And you've got somebody, you know, coming to pitch to you for funding. Say, you need, the person's coming to you needs 100k to complete a prototype of their concept, right? What are you as an angel investor, what would you want to be able to see? I want, I think I've got kind of these 4 things. But just imagine you're in the shoes of the angel investor, somebody's trying to sell to you. What are the things?
The ability to listen to other people's opinions.
Yep, so that's openness, which was just said. Cool. Yep.
Very well, extremely well thought out product and plan.
Yep, so that's a extremely well thought out product and plan around how you're going to make money. Cool.
And the product itself.
Yep.
Just investing on something that's very well thought out.
Yep.
And breakdown, or just pay forward.
Yep. Yeah.
Good awareness and appreciation of the market that she's going for.
Yep. So it's an awareness of the market that they're targeting. Yep. Who else? Anybody else? Yeah.
Someone's not too precious about the idea, they're open to changing.
Yeah. Not too precious about the idea.
Your team.
Keen?
Your team.
Teamed. Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah. It's,
The return.
yep. The return. And I think that's right. You know, the thing that we always got to remember when you're an angel investor is they will have passion, but they will never have the level of passion that you have for your idea. And what you've got to be able to do in some way is think about it from the angel's perspective and say, what is he or she really looking for? All of those answers, I think, are really good. The biggest criticism from angel investors of when people pitch to them is it's all about the product. You know, if you have 3 minutes in a lift and you spend 2.5 minutes talking about the product, an angel investor will just go, oh God, here we go again. This guy doesn't get that I'm interested in making money. That's all I really care about, is making money. I like you, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with you, so you talk about your product, and then I make no money. All I have is a friendship, but I want to make money. So the things that, you've got to look for, you do have to have an interesting idea. So that, that's a given. I've got something here called a compelling pain point. And a compelling pain point in the market means somebody's hurting, and my product is going to solve that pain. You guys ever heard of the story of the vitamin or the aspirin? Right? It's a great saying to say to your mates when they give you their business idea. You just go, what? Is it an aspirin or vitamin pill? And then you go and you leave, and they'll be there for 10 minutes going, what's he on about? Aspirin solves the pain. Vitamin, who cares? It's not immediate, and it's something that I won't pay for right now. So when you think about your business concept, I'm solving a pain right now, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. A great team. And that doesn't mean a great team that's going to list on NASDAQ. That means for now, for the job that we have to do, we've got our bases covered in these areas, but we've got some weaknesses in these areas. So it was what was said before about being open. It's really important to be able to say, hey, we think we understand these things, but we really need help here. And then the other thing is a credible plan. And it's just for what you need to do to get to the next phase. I said earlier on, it's about steps along the way. It's again not a credible plan to list on NASDAQ, because that's totally unrealistic. If you have an idea, it's, I want to do a prototype, and as part of that prototype, I want to understand the market and find the pain point. And I'll tell you a really good story about this. I met this really anal Greek guy once, and he's called Aris Paradis, and I thought he was really painful, and he told me the story that I never really got until about 6 months later. And what he said is, with all of his startups, when they first join up, he gives them a book, right? And he says, right, I want you to go and see every quarter 60 customers, and I want you to write down the results of every interview. And then at the end of every quarter, I'm going to read your book. And if you haven't seen those 60 customers, then you're out of here. And the startups will sit there and say, I don't have any customers. I'm a startup, you dick. What do you think that is? And he'd say, I don't care, go and find some customers. Go and talk to some people in the market about what they're doing, what's their problems, what's frustrating. Invariably what happens is when you repeatedly do that and you ask open questions, normally after the second or third visit, the customer or the potential customer will say, if you could solve this, I'd pay for that. At that point you go, God, this has been a painful process. I've had that solution from day one, ready. But when the customer says, I've got a problem and I'm prepared to pay for it, potentially you've got a market. And then the next question is, well, how many of the customers have got that problem, and can I build a business around it? So, and I think raising angel money or any money is just a sales process. That's all it is. You've got to build confidence in a team. You've got to build confidence in the investor that you are going to make a return for them. And that requires a lot of preparedness and a lot of flexibility and adaptiveness, and a lot of probably a lack of emotion around the business transaction. I'm going to invest in your business, and this is what I want for it. I'll tell you a story. One of the Sparky guys has just got 150k investment from our startup fund, and this guy is a brilliant